Too many days at sea. There is not enough port stops on this cruise. And will Carnival Cruise Lines give me a refund over hurricane and rain? Because, of course, we all know the cruise lines have that secret I control the weather button. Good Saturday morning, everybody. Chris here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to this week's episode of What Every Cruiser Wants, where we read 3 cruise comments to you. Real cruise comments written in from real people that, well, honestly, I don't know if they know what cruising's all about. And sometimes I think they write in these comments and I don't know, they don't think about what they write or what they actually send off because some of it doesn't make sense. And you're going to see that with one individual who is upset over the number of sea days, just not enough port days. From someone who wants to know, are they getting a refund if they cancel their cruise over some possible weather in the future? And another one who wants to say, hey, it rained while I was in port today. Don't I deserve my money back? So let's jump into the comments and let's find out. Do you agree or do you disagree the way these people think? Now, I fully understand that there are different types of cruisers. Some people enjoy sea days, love them, happy to be out there on sea days. Some people like port days. They want more days in port, less days at sea. It's okay to be either one of those two because there are itineraries out there for both. You can get itineraries that have more sea days. You can get itineraries that have more port days, depending on what you are looking for. But there are some itineraries out there, they're going to have more sea days in it just because of travel time. You got to get where you're going to. Point A to point B. Sometimes it could take a day or 2, or sometimes it could take 5 or 6 days to get from point A to point B. If you book a cruise that's like that, you book a cruise that's full of sea days, should you really later write a comment in talking about too many sea days? I don't know. You're going to have to help me to make sense of this, but this is what they wrote. I want to be on the festival for the cruise from London to Florida. There are too many sea days. Why can't the ship stop at more ports? 5 days at sea is too much for most of us. John question, what is there to do during these sea days? What do people do? I think most people would be bored. This is just a money grab to get us to use the casino and use the bars. Just to make sure I'm reading this right, this is going to be the transatlantic sailing on board the Carnival Festival. It's going to leave London. It's going to do a transatlantic sailing to Florida. It's going to be crossing the Atlantic Ocean. And because of this, there's going to be 5 sea days because it's not like there's a bunch of places to stop way out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Hence why it's a transatlantic sailing. So someone wants to book a transatlantic sailing and then wants to know why there's no port days when they're crossing the Atlantic Ocean. 5 days at sea. Why can't the ship stop at more ports in the middle of the ocean? This is what I mean by, do you actually read, proofread, and think about what you type before you send it off? It's not like the cruise ship is passing all of these places and choosing not to stop. Maybe it's just me, but does this person believe that there's a bunch of port stops that no one's ever heard of simply hanging out in the Atlantic Ocean? Next, we're going to talk about getting a refund from the cruise line due to a hurricane. Now, hurricane season's the same every year. You went on, you booked a cruise during hurricane season. It's a bit of a gamble. Your cruise may go off without a hitch. Your cruise may be affected by weather. That's a choice and a decision you made when you booked the cruise. You were also given the option to get travel insurance. Recommend that no matter what time of year you are cruising. but you have the option for travel insurance. Well, just in case something does happen, perhaps you might need to cancel if you're concerned over the weather. But you see, not everybody out there is a responsible adult. Not everybody says, I have booked during hurricane season. There's a chance. Not everybody says, I should buy travel insurance because I want to be protected. Instead, nope, what they do is they think the cruise line should be responsible for their decisions and their choices. And they want to know, am I getting a refund? Trying to get an answer from you or the blank at your call center is like finding a needle in a haystack. Does Carnival give full refunds if we decide we ain't cruising while there is a hurricane out there? Hello, McFly. Hello, anybody home? So let me give you the quick and the short and the easy answer. Is Carnival Cruise Lines going to give you a refund if you decide you're not cruising because there's a storm out there? The answer to that is no. They are not going to give you a refund if you decide you're not going on the cruise. Now, if the cruise line cancels the cruise, then yes, you get a full refund. But if you individually to say, hey, there's a hurricane out there, I'm concerned, it could affect my itinerary, my ride might be a little bumpy, there could be some wet, I'm not going to get on this ship. Don't go to the cruise line and go, well, where's my refund? I didn't want to go because of the weather. The cruise line ain't going to give you nothing. At that point, your only option, your only hope, your only avenue of recovering any of your money is going to be the route of travel insurance. Hopefully, you've got a policy that covers you canceling because you didn't like the weather. If you're that type of person, highly recommend the cancel for any reason type of cruise insurance. So before you go, hello, McFly, maybe you should do that to yourself and ask, well, why would the cruise line give me back all my money because I chose to not go on the cruise? I just don't understand why they won't just give it to me. And we got one more weather-related comment, one more person that wants to know, if we go to port and it's raining, are we getting our money back? Because, I mean, I paid for sunshine. I didn't pay for rain. And we all know that the cruise lines, they got the magic button that they push. And when they push it, the sun comes out and the day in port is perfect. I mean, isn't that how it works when you're out at sea? I am heading out this weekend for our cruise on the Dream. I'm a weather watcher. It looks like rain in port each day. Does Carnival give any kind of refund or credit if port days are ruined by rain? If not, they should, because people pay good money to enjoy the sunshine. Do our excursions get refunded? Do people go ashore on port days if it is raining? Only my second cruise, so need some help to prepare. Now, if this is only their second cruise ever, fairly new cruiser, we can definitely cut them a little bit of slack on their questions because they're not gonna know. But to answer your question, is the cruise line gonna give you a refund or a credit if it's raining during your port day? Well, another example of the word, no! They are not going to give you a credit. They are not going to give you a refund. If that ship docks in that port, that is a port day, whether it is raining or not. Remember, the cruise lines have zero control over whether it is sunny or whether it is raining when they dock in that port. They have no effect whatsoever on Mother Nature and her daily choices. And yes, people do pay good money to go on cruises, but booking a cruise, getting on a cruise ship, that does not guarantee that you will have sunshine every single day of that trip. The cruise line can't guarantee that. Nobody can guarantee that. And for that reason, no, you're not getting a refund. You are not getting a credit. Do shore excursions get refunded? It depends. Was the shore excursion canceled because of the weather? If it was and booked through the cruise line, there is definitely a possibility, yes. If you booked it third party, well, that's between you and the third party. If you simply choose not to go on the excursion, because it's raining, you will not get a refund. That is a choice, not a cancellation. And do people go ashore while it's raining? You damn right they do. Because while a little bit of rain might bother some people, you can trust me when I tell you there's plenty of cruisers out there. They're getting off that ship. They're enjoying their day. A little rain is not going to stop them. But what do you guys think? If you cancel your cruise because you're concerned of the weather, should you get a full refund? Are you owed a full refund? If you go to port and it's raining in that port day, should you get a refund because the cruise line didn't provide you sunshine? Is that really something that cruisers think they are owed? Is it something they expect? Because damn it, they paid money for sunshine and they had better get it. Let me know in the comments below. And that's going to be our video this week for what every cruiser wants. If you've enjoyed this week's video, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you haven't done so yet, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It is free to do so. Helps our channel grow. Let you know anytime we put out a new video. Hope everyone out there is having a really great day. And like always, we will see you out on the high seas.